Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video, whatever made you choose to do so. My name is Faith and I typically post DIY and home decor here on YouTube, and today we're doing a very fun IKEA furniture slash home decor hacks video. I've always been so interested and excited in watching these type of videos. They're one of my favorite type of videos to watch. I also recently picked up a bunch of IKEA items on Facebook Marketplace that I want to kind of upcycle and make them more modern and contemporary and fit my style just a little bit more. IKEA is something that is very easy, very accessible. You guys can find these items super easy. IKEA is very accessible at their locations, and you can also find them on Facebook Marketplace like how I did. So today I'm going to be showing you 3 really fun IKEA hacks that you can do on IKEA furniture. So if you're interested, keep on watching. For this first DIY, you're going to need this hemless shoe cabinet, which retails for $99. However, I got mine off of Facebook Marketplace for only $50. And I keep this in my entryway to store my shoes near their door. And it's very sleek and narrow and convenient to have. However, I think that it looks just a little bit plain for me. So I'm going to be creating a fluted effect on the drawers. So I started off by removing the drawers, but in the end, I don't think that this is necessary. So if you're buying this new, then you can just completely assemble it according to the instructions. I also removed the knobs, and we're going to be replacing these later on. I picked up 6 of these 7-foot window and door moldings from Lowe's for about $10 each, and they had about 6 rows of the fluted design. I placed a piece of the molding on one of the drawers and measured how long I would need each piece to be. I made sure to place the piece all the way up to the top to cover up that little gap on the top of the drawer, and I cut the piece to size using my jigsaw. I placed that piece back onto the drawer and checked to see if I could still open the drawer, and it actually was pretty perfect. So I used this piece as a template and cut out the remaining pieces. Then I sanded down the edges until they were smooth using my handheld sander. I laid out the placement on the drawers before I attached them, and about 8 pieces will fit on each drawer. However, as you'll see on the last piece, it hangs over just a little bit, so I cut off one of the edges with my jigsaw, as you can see right here. And then I place them back onto the drawer, and you'll see that it fits perfectly. So I attached each piece with wood glue. I applied the wood glue on the back of the piece and smoothed it out with a foam brush, and then placed it down. I just repeated the same steps for all of the pieces. I also applied glue to the sides of each piece. After you cut all of the pieces, this DIY is pretty simple and also pretty quick. I could be more faithful, but I feel like that happened, so I run around this. I wanna be good to myself, love hard to breathe more, drink less. I wanna be seen at my best, sleep more, be nice, a lot less. All I need is 21 days and I'm fine. Once I was done, I placed any and everything heavy on top that I could to make sure that it was secure, so that the wood would actually cure to the cabinet. Then the next day, I removed all of the items off of the top, and I'm going to be replacing the knobs with these gold knobs that I also used in my bathroom makeover. I was scared to drill a hole through the molding because I thought that it would crack, So I drilled through a scrap piece that I had on hand, and turns out it was fine. So I proceeded to replace each knob. So I flipped the drawer over and pre-drilled a hole through the existing hole that was already there, and then simply screwed in all the knobs. Then I reattached the doors, and that is it, guys. I think this turned out pretty amazing. I didn't stain it or anything or apply a top coat because I'm actually going to be redesigning my entryway and I'm not quite sure what color I want to use. However, I do recommend you at least apply a top coat to protect the wood. For this next DIY, you'll need this Gladum tray table, which is a metal side table, and it has a detachable top that you can use as a tray. Now this retails for $20 on IKEA website. However, I got this on Facebook Marketplace for $15. So for this DIY, you'll need a 18-inch embroidery hoop. I detached the screw and then I placed the hoop inside of the tray. And this hoop is slightly bigger than the tray, so I'm marking off how much I would need to cut it, and then I would cut that piece off with my handsaw. I also need to cut the other embroidery hoop. However, this one is going to sit adjacent with the edge of the tray. So again, I have to measure that out, and that's going to be slightly bigger than the hoop that we just cut. And so I measure that out and then cut it again with my handsaw. I wanted each hoop to be spaced 3 inches apart. So I measured the spacing using my ruler and then attached them using this floor wire. I'm actually going to be attaching the hoops together using these popsicle sticks that I had on hand. I'm just using the floor wire as a temporary way to hold up the embroidery hoops while I place the popsicle sticks on them. So I'm going to be using 4 popsicle sticks at 5 inches tall. So I measured that out and then cut each using an X-Acto knife. I also sanded down the edges that I cut just to make sure they were nice and smooth, and then I attached them using some wood glue. And then I clamped those down with these larger paper clips and reattached the embroidery hoop ends using my staple gun. While the wood glue dries, I spray painted the tray black using this Rust-Oleum spray paint in a satin finish, and I gave it about 2 coats. You actually can purchase this tray in black. I believe it comes in a few different colors, so you can skip this step if you are purchasing this for the first time and you get your color of choice. Once the wood glue dried, I removed the floor wire and painted the popsicle sticks and the embroidery hoops using a black chalk paint that I just got from Michael's, and then I let that dry for a couple of hours. Every single year, never fails, I try. But maybe I don't ever wanna put down this life. All I need is 21. While I waited for the embroidery hoops to dry, I soaked my cane in warm water for about 10 minutes, and this will make the cane more flexible and easier to work with. The size cane that I had purchased would not completely wrap around the tray, so I had to cut out 2 pieces that are about 5 inches tall. Then I attached the cane to the outside of the hoop using my staple gun. I used quite a few staples and made sure to pull the edges taut and then stapled them down just to make sure that it's really secure. Now when the cane dries, it'll actually shrink up and become pretty tight, and this will help with the security of the cane as well. When I had to attach the next piece, I tried to match up the cane pattern as best as I could and then attach them using a few staples. I also had to cut one more very small piece to finish off the outside of the hoop. Once that was done, I attached the outside of the hoop to the inside of the tray using some E6000 glue. You guys, this was a bit of a struggle. I'm not even going to lie. I had to cut the bottom hoop and then reattach it once I placed the hoop inside the tray. I think the staples added extra space on the outside, which caused it not to fit. So if you are following this, leave a few centimeters leadway to account for the staple space. That way you don't have to deal with this issue that I had. Once that was done, I used some reed spline to wrap around the outside of the cane hoop and then held it together with some clips, and this would just help clean up the outside of the cane hoop and make it look more polished. Once that was dry, I painted the reed black and also touched up some of the other areas of the hoop and the tray. And that's it, guys. This DIY was definitely very challenging, but probably my favorite and most paid off one. So I wanted to end off this video with a very simple and easy DIY. So for this DIY, you'll need this vase, which retails for $2.99. And I'm going to be doing the faux ceramic technique on this vase, which is very popular and trendy right now. So you'll also need some baking soda, a paintbrush, and of course a container to mix the paint. And here I have Sherwin-Williams in the color Naturel and Nomadic Desert, and they're kind of both very natural, warm tones, but Naturel has more of a peachy undertone, and so I ended up going with that color. So this is very easy, guys. You want to mix 1 part baking soda and then 1 part paint, and it'll become very cloudy and foamy. And then I just painted a very thin layer of this. I also painted the inside of the vase with a smaller brush. And then I let this layer dry and applied the next and final coat. And that is it, guys. This DIY is very easy yet very impactful. You can easily transform a very ugly vase that you thrifted, or in this case got from IKEA. So you can use these to style a bookcase or shelves, or you can put flowers in them or style them by themselves. Up today's video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed these IKEA furniture hacks, and if you like these type of videos, then let me know down below and tell me which one was your favorite. I will be styling these items that I made today, such as like the shoe storage and the side table, and future room makeovers on my house, so stay tuned for that if you're interested. And if you're not already subscribed, please consider subscribing and hitting that bell notification right next to it so that you're notified every time I post. Some people tell me that they don't get the notification, and you have to hit that bell right next to the subscribe button to know when I post. And yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. I'll see you in my next one. Bye. I guess where we're at right now. My closet makeover. If you haven't seen that video, I will leave it linked down in the description box below so you can check it out, but I love it.